Hello everybody, it's Bill's That College Football Guy here in another video. Like, wait a minute, you haven't been posting every day. Yeah, I took a little bit of a break because I kind of got burnt out. It's like, you know what, let's dial it back a little bit, breathe a little bit, and it's helped. It's like somebody told me, y'all, take a break, get a vacation, do something, man. You're cranking them out too damn fast. Well, if you saw how many I had in the pipeline I had to do, you wouldn't be asking that question. 33 more videos to do about previews and schedule predictions. But I digress. I think the question here is like, okay, what do I mean here? It's been a few years now since Bowlesby brought in BYU, Houston, UCF, and Cincinnati. Now, this is a question for the Big 12 fans primarily, because I know you all in the comment section on this one. Hindsight being 2020. If you could go back in time and change it, now knowing the fact not do the 4 wasn't an option. At that time, in order to be a stable conference, they had to bring 4 in. That was not an option. They wouldn't have survived. They had to do it. So, not doing it look like a smart move. No, they had to do it. The question is, who'd be the other 3? Well, that is, number 1, BYU coming in. BYU not being allowed into the Pac-12 is perhaps one of the Pac-12's biggest mistakes of the last few years. Because if they would have had BYU right now, a lot of problems wouldn't be happening. Or maybe more. Who knows? But BYU was BYU. Basically, if you had to pick the schools all over again, would you pick the same 4? Hindsight being 2020, Big 12 fans. If you could pick the 4 schools again to be this, would it still be the same 4? Or would you pick different? Now, BYU, I'm not disputing that one bit. That was the perfect move to make, grabbing BYU. Houston, football's improving. Basketball, they're a powerhouse. So that made sense. UCF and Cincinnati did well. This was right before, right after the college football playoff spot they made, but things changed roster-wise, coaching-wise. Everything changed with Cincinnati. So the video is, if you're back and you're in Bowlesby's spot, and you got to pick 4, again, because I don't think at that point in time there was a choice. You had to do it. Because the uncertainty, you had to get stable. And this was the way to do it. So, with number 1, BYU, yes, I'll agree with that one. That's agree. But you wanted this, if you could, hindsight being 2020, if you could pick them all over again, would it be the same 4? Would you take BYU? Would you take Cincinnati? Would you take Houston? Would you take UCF? Or would you throw in a Memphis? Would you throw in South Florida? Would you throw in a Tulane? Would you throw in, you can't say Oregon State and Washington State because they were still in the Pac-12 at that point. They're ineligible for this vote because they were still in the Pac-12 and they wouldn't have left because they didn't know what was coming down the road. Hindsight being 2020, when Oregon State and Washington State asked to leave, probably would have, knowing hey, your conference is going to implode if you don't jump right now. But then again, how many other schools in the Pac-12 would have done the same thing knowing ahead of time? But anyway, I digress. But they don't have hindsight here. You do. So you're talking the G5s. When I put this idea up, so you think UNLV would go? Hell no. UNLV was ass at the point of this happening. Okay, let's be real. This was post. This is when they started getting good. So when this got announced, UNLV wasn't doing anything. So no. Cincinnati was good and it's been a little bit downslide. Now they're, downward slide. Now they're kind of working their way back up. UCF, not Scott Frost is back. We'll see how that goes. Houston, to me, looks like a great move. BYU, that's a great move. They said, would you bring in Memphis? Would you bring in Tulane instead? Would you bring in South Florida instead? Would you bring in Boise State instead? There's a lot of options you can look at this, and it's like, I started thinking about it, like, Cincinnati, you could not have predicted that Cincinnati, that everything would have happened for Cincinnati. You couldn't have predicted it. I'm having a complete blank on the head coach's name. And I shouldn't. And that's on me. Head coach of Wisconsin right now. See his face, can't see his name. Wisconsin being the first time he ever had a coaching job outside the state of Ohio, but in his career. But that being said, like I said, you couldn't have planned for that. But hindsight being 2020, now you can. Would you have taken Cincinnati? Would you have taken Houston still? Well, the fact they're kind of football-wise, we're going to free fall down there. BYU, I don't think anybody would not have taken BYU. It's just past that. Would you go around that? Would you look at UCF? The problem is you look at the schools you're looking at, Memphis, Tulane, South Florida, Boise, are any of them better? If you put them on the same stage, would they perform as well? That's a bit of a tough argument, because it's like, okay, could Boise hang? Could Boise hang with Oklahoma State? Could Boise hang with Texas Tech? Now, hindsight being 2020, yeah, they could. But are they a fit? Are they a fit for the Big 12? Is there somebody that I'm not mentioning that you would add? It's like this one doesn't really need to be that complicated, because it's basically I'm asking you, the Big 12 fans, and all my subscribers, so I know you're going to chime in too. The Big 12 did not grab the 4 G5 schools. The conference might not have existed. That was not optional. They had to do it. And BYU, I consider a power independent. So them coming in, that was a must move, and it was a brilliant one. Past that, I don't know who I'd bring in. I'll be honest with you, I don't know. It's like, would I want to bring in Houston? Yeah, I could do that one. But UCF has its moments. Cincinnati has fallen off, but they're starting to come back. Would Boise State be better than them? Would Tulane, would South Florida be Memphis? Would you want to bring in UConn? As someone suggested to me on there, I brought this idea up at the truck stop I'm at right now. Well, what about San Diego State? I said football programs, not basketball schools. And right now, Boise's a basketball. And Boise, apologies, Boise, you're not a basketball school. You're a football school that also plays basketball. San Diego State is a basketball school that also plays football. So, that being said, I don't know. I mean, my head is saying, would I personally swap out Cincinnati and UCF for Boise State and Memphis? I got guys backing straight up into me. Okay, he figured out what to do. So I honestly don't know. I mean, could Boise State and Memphis outperform UCF and Cincinnati? Given the same stage? It's like, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I know. I mean, it's tempting, but I'm honest with you. I don't know. I mean, I would not kick BYU or Houston out of this equation, but that's me. But I've talked a little bit on this one. This is ones I actually want to hear your opinions on this. So let me know what you think about this down in the comments. So thanks everybody for watching this. If you haven't done it already, do me the favor, smash the like button, hit that thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. Most video, we see more people. It's YouTube. Hey, people like this video. We need to promote it more. Comment on the video. Again, 4 schools came in to the G5. From the G5 who came in. Actually, 3 from the G5. 1 a power independent in BYU. Which would you take? Would you take the same 4 again, or would you pick somebody different? Who would you replace, who not? And I'd like to hear your reasons for why. Because like right now, I'm kind of torn. I mean, Boise State and Memphis makes sense, but it's also, could they hang? Because UCF and Cincinnati are doing good with it. Let me know what you think about that down in the comments section. Share the video if you want to. If you haven't done it already, check out some other videos that I've done. If you like it, hey, subscribe to the channel. Past 900 subscribers on the road to 1K, trying to make some magic happen. If you want to follow me on the craziness that is X, the link is in the description. So again, thanks everybody. Man, I thought about this as an idea a while back, and I was going to post this video, but then I decided to just take a breather from posting because I was kind of getting burnt out. And realized, you know what? I don't know what I do. I don't know what I do with this situation. I really don't. But you let me know what you think about this down in the comments. So again, thanks everybody for watching. Everybody's having a great day. Woo-wee. More preview and prediction videos coming. All right, everybody. So be safe out there, and please be good to each other.